it's Jenny from Community Library of DeWitt in Jamesville, and welcome to STEAM Saturdays. In today's project, we are going to be making origami kusadama flowers, like this. Origami is the art of paper folding, and it has origins in Japanese culture. And for today's project, even though this looks really complicated, it's actually a very simple folding activity, perfect for kids and grown-ups alike. We're going to be making different petals and putting them together to make a flower that is perfect to decorate your home for springtime. So let's roll up our sleeves and let's get folding. Here are the supplies that you will need to make your origami kusadama flower. You're going to need 6 sheets of square paper. You're also going to need some paper clips. These are optional, but you might need them in this project. And you're also going to need some glue. I'm using a glue stick, but you can use liquid glue or you can use glue dots. Either one of those options works really well for this project. And inside your STEAM Saturday kit, we've included the 6 pieces of square paper along with the paper clips. So the only thing you need to provide at home is the glue.
Alright, so here's how we are going to start making our flower. You're going to take one of your pieces of paper and you're going to form a triangle. So you're going to take one edge and meet it up at the other edge and just make sure it is nice and even. And then you're going to fold that crease. And an important tip when you're making origami is to make sure that your edges are very crisp. This will make for a really pretty flower. So this fold that we just did is called a triangle fold in origami. Now we're going to make a square. We're going to take the left hand corner and bring it up to the tip and crease that. Take the right hand corner also up to the top, and you're going to make a nice crease. And in origami, this is called the helmet base. So now we're going to fold our corners down. We're going to take the one left hand corner and fold it down to meet the seam and do a nice crisp fold there. And you're going to repeat that with the right hand side. Down to the sides here. Against the edge of the paper. Okay, now this is where it's a little bit tricky. We're going to flatten these flaps. So this is called a squash fold, and you want to try to do this carefully so that you're not wrinkling your paper. You're going to open this up and you're going to bring that inner lip out and you are going to flatten it. And it kind of looks like a kite shape. And we're going to repeat that with the right hand side. So the easiest way is to stick your finger up into that fold, bring the paper out, not wrinkling it, and then folding it flat. And now it looks like you have 2 kites. And then you're going to take these triangles on the top and just fold those edges down. 1 and 2. Now you're going to take these folds and bring them inside like that. And do a nice sharp crease. And repeat that with the right hand side. Over. And a nice sharp crease. Okay, so now that you have your origami paper folded, we are going to create our kusadama flower petals. You're going to need your glue stick. You can also use liquid glue if you want, or if you have glue dots. I'm using a glue stick, so I find it works really well. And we're going to put a little bit of glue on one of these sides. And you're going to take your paper, glue side, and have these 2 folds meet each other. And then just flatten so the glue holds. And you will see the beginning of one of your petals. And if you want to, you can take a paper clip and clip on the inside here until it dries. Or you can also hold this together just for a few seconds or so until it sticks together. But this glue that I'm using is permanent and it sticks really well. So that is your first petal, and you're going to repeat this 5 more times until you have 6 petals. Okay, so now we're going to put together and complete our origami Kusadama flower. You should have 6 petals that you made, and you are going to need your glue stick, and also you could use some paper clips. These are optional, but they might help you with getting our flower to stick together. So what we're basically going to do is just glue these petals together one by one. So you're going to start off with one petal, put a little bit of glue on one side, and take a second petal and stick that together. And this is where you might want to need to hold it for a little bit because we are putting more paper together. And then what you can do is you can take one of your handy dandy paper clips, and just to help it set while the glue is setting, just gently paper clip those together like that. And we're going to continue on until we finish our flower. So continue with a little bit more glue on this side of the petal. Add your third petal to your flower. Kind of press it down and hold it for a few seconds. You kind of want to make sure your papers are all lined up so it does look like there's little inside petals inside your flower. Again, you can take a paper clip and just put that on there until it dries. And for good measure, I'll just put a little bit more on our last petal just to make sure it all sticks together. And we will get this nestled in. You might have to hold one petal down and then wrap the other one around and kind of hold them together like that. And then this is what's good. Those paper clips are good for. We can put these both on petals we just created. And I'm just going to give that a few minutes. The glue stick makes it a little bit easier with drying time since we're not using liquid glue. But if you're using liquid glue, please make sure you give plenty of time to let it dry. And there is our almost finished origami flower put together. Really beautiful, really easy. Once the glue has dried completely, you can remove the paper clips, and your beautiful flower is now all stuck together, and it's perfect now for decorating your house for spring. You can also make additional flowers with other pieces of square paper. I would recommend that the paper be 6 inches by 6 inches, and I would use paper like a copy paper. I wouldn't recommend cardstock for origami. And you can make as many beautiful flowers as you would like, and you can glue them together and make a beautiful bouquet. You could even use some green paper if you wanted to attach stems to your flowers. The possibilities are endless, and origami can be very challenging. There's definitely projects that are very advanced, but this was pretty easy, and the result is just really, really beautiful. So I hope that you had fun making these origami Kusadama flowers with me. I would love if you would take photos and or videos of your finished projects and share them with us, because we would love to see what you create out of paper. So thanks so much for joining me today for this STEAM Saturday, and we will see you next time. Bye everybody.